what we should be looking at, what kind of things that is important that we must look at. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of us put a lot of emphasis on trainings, products. We go to the extent of memorizing the 12 ingredients. We go to the extent of looking at small little details when in the midst of doing a product presentation. For your information, I still cannot remember the 12 ingredients. I still cannot remember. Because to me, the ingredients itself does not help me sell a product. As an example, those of you go to BMW or BMW, you wanted to buy, let's say, an X5. The sales manager will open up the hood, and then the engine. And then on top of the engine is written DOHC. So the sales manager start to explain to you, DOHC means dual overhead camshaft, blah 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 blah, and then you will just do you actually understand?
No.
You don't, but you still buy X5. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Because you make a decision to buy, because you have a need to buy a BMW. Isn't that correct? Similarly, we put a lot of emphasis on product presentation, so much so that we start to show a lot of testimonies. This product can help diabetic, cancer, this and that. Then the patient will come to you, Mom, just now you show me the breast cancer is right side, but right now my breast cancer is left side. Can or not? Why? When we overly emphasize on the product efficacy, we become a quack doctor. Right? So, meaning to say, no matter how well we develop our knowledge of a product, we can only at best be a salesman. Is that what you want when you join Raymond? To be a salesman? No, isn't it? No, isn't it? When you sign up in Raymond, you did not sign up as a member. You take a look at the form that you need to fill. What does it say? That you are a distributor of Raymond International. Isn't that correct? What is the difference between member and distributor? Member means you need to pay membership. Isn't it? Distributor means there is no such thing as membership. Isn't that correct? And you know that we are in the field of networking. Isn't that correct? And you know if you are in the field of networking, you are in the field of people. It's a people business. Alright? So if you are in the field of business, alright, and you act like a salesman, then your people will follow you to start to sell product. And every single person that comes under you will face up to the same problem. Mom, I have a product. Is it supplement? Yes. Is it networking? Yes. How much is it? 135,000. You go to hell. No more. But is that how we do review? No. Then how should we be able to succeed in review?
Sell the business coach.
Sell the business. Not only that. The most important thing of all is how you can sell yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, when we are young, when we go to school, our teacher will ask us to write a composition. We write an essay. When you grow up, what you want to be. Some of you will write, I'm a doctor. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a professor. So on and so forth. And that was everyone's dream when we started. And then when we grew up, we failed in our class. When we grew up, we didn't excel in our studies. Alright? And slowly, your dream becomes smaller and smaller and smaller until one day you keep it somewhere that you've forgotten about it. Some of you keep it under the bed, some of you keep it, you dig a hole and plant the dream inside there. Whatsoever reason, it is no more relevant. It is really no more relevant. You start to believe that because you are born poor, there's no way that you can eradicate your poverty. You start to blame the environment for what you are today. You start to say that, not that I don't want, but because of the pandemic, because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that. And none of the finger ever pointed at yourself. Isn't that correct? So ladies and gentlemen, what have you learned when you joined Relay? What have you learned? Is joining networking and joining Relay all about money?
No.
No. All our lives, in our entire lives, we have been chasing after money. We have been chasing after peso, after dollars. Are we successful? Are we successful? Then, have you ever reflected what is the problem? What is the problem? Okay. Have you all ever asked this question? Have you all ever asked what is the ultimatum that can be achieved in network marketing? Ladies and gentlemen, all of us are being misguided by a lot of networking companies telling you how much you can make, telling you if you sell this, you will get this. If you do this, you will get this. A good majority of the networking companies have never told you that you need to make a change in yourself in order for you to get what you want. Isn't that correct? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you thoroughly understand what networking is all about, it was never about a product. It was never about making how much money per month. It was never about showing people that you have a Mercedes, a BMW, a bungalow. Alright. It was showing your people, your friends, your family that I am a changed person because of Freeway International. Alright? Ladies and gentlemen, when we are born into the society, we develop a certain kind of comfort zone in ourselves. The comfort zone may not necessarily because you have money. Even if you don't have money, you have a certain comfort zone. And in life, with all honesty, nobody likes to change. In life, nobody likes to work. We are all born lazy, isn't it? But why do we need to work? Why do we need to work? It is because when we grew up, we saw our parents working. We saw our grandparents working. And for that reason, alright, because our parents will probably tell us nothing comes free of charge. Alright? And because of that, our mindset is clouded. We never believe that we can achieve things. We never believe that it is our responsibility if we want to do well in our lives. That is where Relay is different. And when I put my heart and mind into Relay, when I start to attend every single leaders training seminar, and when I start to realize that every single speaker of Relay International was never a professional speaker. We never engage somebody from outside. And whenever they stand onto the stage, they never talk to us about how much money they can make and how much money they are making. What do they talk to us? They tell us how Freeway has changed their lives. They tell us because of the platform is other changes. Because of the change that I brought upon myself. That is why today I have a big organization under me. But a good majority of us do not accept or absorb. And for that reason, you find that it is difficult to live. Your upline asks you how things are, you blame it on the pandemic. When the upline pursue further and meet you, you give all kinds of reasons that you are busy. Why? Simply because of one reason. You are not willing to change. Right? So if today we can establish an understanding that if you come into Raymond, if you come into network marketing, was not all about money. And if you need to have that money, you need to bring along certain change in your life. Are you willing to do it and accept it?
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't that correct? So ladies and gentlemen, you ask yourself, where do you come from? Ask yourself, where are you now? Ask yourself, where you intend to go.
Right.
Can you find an answer for yourself? And how many of you are very clear in this kind of answer? I realize that in life, in society, a good majority of us practically does not have a direction in life. When there is no direction in our life, we do not position ourselves to achieve certain things. We live by the day. And for that reason, we never set goals in our life. We never find that there is a need for us to put a good reason in front of us so that we will pursue that goal. And in essence, when you pursue that goal, you will start to make that change in your life. As an example, today you are not a Diamond 1 star, but you very much want to become a Diamond 1 star. And you know that you need 4 diamonds on the left and 4 diamonds on the right to become a 1 star. And you know that you need to meet every 10 people, you get 1 diamond. That is to say, in 1 month, you need to meet 80 people. Yes. But you wake up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You drink until 3 o'clock in the morning. You're not willing to give up your beer. How would you achieve? That will mean in life, ladies and gentlemen, there are certain sacrifices that we must be ready to do.
Right.
That's right.
Are you willing?
Yes.
Isn't that correct? So, ladies and gentlemen, then the question is, if you have joined Freeway for 1 year, if you have joined Freeway for 6 months, why are you still not a Diamond 1 star? Are you going to blame it up there? Right? You have to be practical, because you may have dreams when you are young. You dream to become a doctor. You dream to become a lawyer. You dream to become an engineer. But did you put a good reason as to why you want to be a doctor? Do you put a good reason in front of you why you want to be a lawyer? Do you put a good reason why you want to be an engineer? That is why when you start to grow up, you didn't have that reason, your dream will become smaller and smaller and smaller. Isn't that correct? So, ladies and gentlemen, Is it that difficult to do re-rate? Because I'm telling you today, no matter how good the product is, no matter how good your upline is, no matter how good your team is, you don't change, you're not part of that successful team.
That's right.
Right.
You will not be able to enjoy what you want. You can only dream about it. And that is what we call daydreaming. No need to work but get money. Where was such thing in the world? Correct me if I'm wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, you want to do well in Relay, you must first self-reflect and understand yourself more. We must know what your strengths are. You must also know what your weaknesses are. And you must be able to turn your weaknesses into a strength.
That's right.
Let me share you a story. Prior to coming to the Philippines, I had a small team. That is why I became a director starter. And I start to lead the way I think I should lead the team. And every time there are issues, I look at the problem. I look at the person's problem. I look at the person's weakness. Instead of reflecting that maybe the problem could arise from me, I never for once thought that my leadership was in question. And eventually, I lost the whole team. And for that reason, when I come to the Philippines, I don't have a team anymore. And for that reason, I don't have any income at all when I come to the Philippines. But because my family was suffering because of me, my children were suffering because of me, my children were growing up, and I love my children. Alright? I quarrel with Teresa, my wife, every day. I will give her 500 and tell her to be wise in spending it. That was the kind of predicament. Until such a time when I see Theodore, some of you will know Theodore,
Right.
because today he is a team lead by business. When I see Theodore having to eat cup noodles in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and sometimes supper, eating the same thing, and pretentious that it's delicious, so that I won't feel bad. I ask myself, what kind of father am I? I can't even put decent food on the table. What kind of father am I? What kind of husband am I? What? I don't have. I do not see myself carrying out my responsibility. And that is when I start to reflect. Because I never believe I'm a stupid person. I always believe I'm smart. But no matter how smart I am, where has it led me to? Nowhere. I have no direction in life. I have no goals in life. I have nothing. So the situation becomes worse and worse and worse until I couldn't possibly even find 50 pesos in the house. Why? Where is the problem? What's the problem with economy? What's the problem outside? What's the problem? It is I who brought upon this predicament into the family. And I have to accept. Because if I don't accept, situation will be worse. I don't know, maybe Teresa and I will be divorced. Maybe my 4 kids will be scattered all over. I don't know. So I vow. Never do I want to see my kids suffer because of me anymore. I vow whatever I need to do in order to change myself, in order for me to be able to provide for the family, I will do. From a very hot-tempered person, I bend myself. From an impatient person, I banned myself. From a person who used to shout at people, I banned myself. I started to understand and realize what my strengths are. And I also need to stand up and accept the fact that these are my weaknesses and I must change. And when I started with Rex, it was tough. If you have met Kuya Rex, he is a jolly person. He doesn't walk faster. He doesn't talk faster. He will do everything at a certain pace. But I held on. And after a period of time, it becomes part of me. I started to change. And when I started to change, my environment changed. And when my environment changed, I start to attract people. I start to receive respect from people. And what is most evident is 6 months later, when I went back home, my children were surprised. I no longer shop at them. I no longer school them. I became their friend. So much so that 6 years down the road, my wife started to get jealous. Whenever she gets jealous, she will scold your dog. Why are you like your dad? Then children will say, what is wrong? I'm like that. He's a thief to bring packages 313. Then Teresa said, I don't want to talk to both of you. Why am I bringing up this topic? Ladies and gentlemen, had I not made the change, I will still be suffering. My children will still be suffering. I will not be enjoying what I have. Ladies and gentlemen, was it because of the product? The product is just a bridge. The platform of Raymond is just a bridge. The culture of Raymond is just a bridge. At the end of the day, you are all the connectors. At the end of the day, you are your best friend. You are also your worst enemy. Believe me, your success story in Raymond was never because you are able to sell 1,000 cents. Your success story is not because of your ability to sell. Your success story was not in your ability to build a formidable team. Because when you don't change, you will not have a team. Trust me on that. So, if we know that our business is about networking, if we know that our business is about building a team, a network, if we know and thoroughly understand that we are right now in essence working on a massive passive income, then you will understand why you don't need to sell. Because selling is active income. You sell, you get. You don't sell, you don't get. Right? What it means by passive income? You start about showing the way that this is how it should be done. You do it correctly. You do it correctly without sacrificing the happiness of other people. You do not step on somebody's head to get what you want. Why is that important? Because you joined Relay International. And what does Relay mean? Right way. So let me share with you this story that happened on February 10th. On February 10th, when Philippines opened the doors to allow non-visa countries to come in, I was on that flight. And I paid 120,000 pesos for a business class ticket return. I flew in. I follow whatever requirements that is needed for me to come in to meet all of you. And I was supposed to be in SMX on February 12th. When I arrived Manila, the Bureau of the Bureau of Health refused to approve me because although I have vaccination certificate from Malaysia, we do not have reciprocity between Philippines and Malaysia about that. And they insist that I must provide a yellow vaccination book under United Nations. And how the hell am I going to get it if I'm already in Manila? So, I gave a call to Romani to tell her my particular. And from Romani, more than 20 millionaires were running around because of me. When I say more than 20 millionaires, meaning more than 20 team elites, because of me, was running around the whole Philippines, thinking and working out ways and means for me to come into the Philippines. Now, what happened is that eventually, Lindy Lu has a downline who owns a hospital, and the owner of the hospital called up the head of Bureau of Quarantine Philippines and gave me a letter. Gave me a letter, right? And I was struggling. I was really struggling. Come in or don't come in. Come in or don't come in. If I don't come in, I burn 120,000. I come in, there is a chance that I may get through. There is a chance that I may not get through. Alright? And I thought for a while, I was in a very, very stressful dilemma. Because I need to decide. If not, the flight back to Malaysia would be illegal. I was in a dilemma. In the end, I decided I need to fly back to Malaysia. Why? I have to think of the consequences. Because under my umbrella, there are more than 90,000 Filipinos, because of me, is doing re-way. In the event if I come in, and when I go out, I will be blacklisted by the Philippines immigration. That would mean that forever I won't be able to come to the Philippines. But more importantly, I represent freeway to do things the right way. If I show all of you that I go through the back door, what am I teaching all of you? What am I teaching all of you? I would rather burn 120,000 to do what is right. But the most important, ladies and gentlemen, what have I done to create so much value with me that more than 20 millionaires are running around because of me? The Pegasus were running around me. Lindy Lu was running around. Jedali Bonte was running around. Rash Bugala was running around. Romani Latone was running around. Maria Teresa, right now qualifying team in Phoenix in Thailand, Europe, was running around. Thong was running around. In Manila, the business development was running around because of me. They went all the way to the immigration department headquarters in I can't remember the name of the place. Alright? To talk to the head. Ladies and gentlemen, why do I need to share with you this story? In three ways, it's all about creating value in your life. It's all about becoming a better version of yourself. It's all about understanding where you are from, where you are now, and where you intend to go. It's all about setting your goals and setting yourself right and righteous. No, there is no such thing in this world that you cannot make an honest living. Ladies and gentlemen, I made a very honest living. I never needed to cheat anyone in the business. I have a good product. I have environment and culture.